Good evening. I am Burr with Trade Broth,
And I'm Bindi with Trade Broth.
and we'd like to wish you a happy 420. We just came from the funeral of Netflix stock after earnings today, and we had a nice visit with Elon Musk.
And we're very pleased to show you what we have here. All right, so the first stock we're going to look at is Walmart. Here you can see we have an ascending triangle here. We just cracked new all-time highs, and I would watch to see this thing push farther. You have any thoughts, Brady?
Yeah, right at open as we were breaking out of this pattern, they were hitting the 160 calls. I even think Pete Nigerian on unusual on CNBC called it out for his unusual options activity.
Yeah, didn't he mention Target as well?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, Target, Walmart, and Costco tend to trade together very often. Those are three that I watch together almost every morning. And I've been seeing a lot of strength come into these. Like, look at these massive green candles that we've been seeing on the daily here. Walmart has been one to run, and definitely something you guys should be watching.
So Rite Aid stood out earlier with some unusual flow and strength while the Qs were selling off. And eventually halted because it came out that they had turned down a takeover bid at price of like 14 something a share. So clearly they must be worth more. So popped up to the upside on that.
Yeah, we saw a huge move there. Briefly, saw a quick news drop, halt, unhalt, and then sell off the rejection news. But I think that's definitely one to be watching over the next few days. I do think that they'll trade higher if they rejected 1460 and they believe that they're worth more than 1460, because a company can't really reject an offer without like some sort of basis saying that we believe that we're more than 1460 a share. So with that in mind, I think that's definitely one to watch for the price to start moving towards that 1460 a share.
Yeah, they've got their fiduciary duty to act in the interest of the shareholders. So
Yep,
apparently selling out at a premium at this premium was not in shareholders' best
is
interest
not
as they
worth
found
it.
it.
Not worth it for the shareholders.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Next up, we have Netflix. Netflix actually opened today down around 28%, and I didn't think it could go any lower, but I was proved wrong. They closed it around down 36%. They took the market cap under 100 billion, I believe, right, Brady?
Yep. They lost a lot of money and wealth today.
There was a lot of money lost by the C-suite of Netflix today, and a lot of money lost by earnings gamblers taking the call side. What I think caused this massive sell-off, which is blatantly obvious in the report, is that subscribers actually fell for the first time in Netflix earnings in what, a decade, I believe.
Yeah, 10 years. It was Squid Games, but for streaming services. All right, Oxy's got an interesting formation here. We got a bullish pattern. Not to say it'll go that way, but we are consolidating up here near some highs after quite the run, fueled by Russia fuel sanctions. And we had flow in, I think it was Marathon and Chevron today, and SPL. So fuel sector could be oil energy could be heating back up. What does that mean for tech?
I think that we're heading more towards a risk off market again. I think that we're going to see rotations into stocks like Target, Walmart that we covered earlier, as well as Dollar General we were talking about, and Dollar Tree had really great days today. So we're seeing people hit consumer staples rather than tech, which is not a great sign, especially with FANG earnings coming up and a lot of big tech companies reporting soon. We did see, I believe it was 2 days ago, oil hit what, 112 a barrel?
It was something like that. It was getting
Something along the
getting
lines of
pricey.
that. Yeah, getting very pricey.
Next
Next we
up, we
got
got Tesla.
All right, so today we saw Tesla open at around 1,030 a share, fall about 6% going into earnings. I don't think a lot of people were optimistic. The other traders that I talked to were thinking puts, seeing the intraday action here on Tesla. But we had a 7% run off the earnings news, which kind of brought us back to that 1030 level. Um, I'm curious to see where we trade tomorrow. There was a lot of good news in the earnings that we're going to cover in the next two slides, but Not a lot of action on the stock. So the first quarter of 2022 was another record quarter for Tesla. We saw the deliveries of vehicles, especially the Model Y in Gigafactory Texas and Berlin, having great success. They speak about COVID-19 being a challenge for them in their supply chain, and the supply chain issues that were already existing have remained persistent on their chip deliveries.
On the flip side, where they did not meet or exceed expectations was really on their Powerwall. They're having a lot of supply chain shortages. Remember, Elon has been talking about lithium, wanting to get into that industry, and this is a lot of it. Like they're going to be kind of a battery company. That's powering the car. Solar Roof, people are pretty unhappy. Their deployments and shipments on that down 48%. So the components are harder to find. So, yeah. And then on the other side, the robotaxi. What's nice about him, shilling the robotaxi dream, is that there are no numbers attached to it. It is just something you buy and believe. So, where he's making comparisons on Uber and Lyft with full self-driving cars. No wheels, no pedals. You're just in a taxi where a robot's driving. Is a dream you can buy with the stock. So that's the story being sold.
What do you think? So what do you think is going to happen to Uber and Lyft stock in spite of this news?
I mean, we'd have to have a little more competitive tweeting from Elon to see any immediate effect.
It's all about the tweeting.
Now, when we see if we see robotaxi pilot and full self-driving clearing, then I'll start being evaluating Uber and Lyft. But right now, they're all just back burner pipe dreams.
So for the robotaxi itself, would you say you feel, because honestly, I don't feel safe with no wheels, no pedals, no way to do anything. I feel like I would be a little safer, or feel a little safer, if there was an actual, if it's just a mannequin or something, but just a robot holding a wheel in the front seat, and I sit in the back. If I'm sitting in the front seat, there's no wheel, there's no nothing, and the car's just moving, I'm going to get freaked out. But if there's a pretend, hi, I'm your chauffeur, kind of driver.
I think it should be an Elon mannequin. You ride in with Elon. That would actually have great success.
He's going to turn around.
Snapping selfies on their robotaxi ride. Look at me with Elon.
Every now and then he turns around and he goes, buy Dogecoin.
That would dominate the market. Let's not start getting into animatronics with that. A Dogecoin pumping Elon, but yeah.
Interesting.
And that's all we got for you today. Be sure to trade safe out there, and good luck.
And have a safe 420.